Alright, as we are gonna hop straight into the second game. Cease already having an unfortunate, well, I guess technically not today, but did end up losing against ABD. Are looking to look now to see if they could potentially win against GME, as GME will rightfully throw that Talia ban against Tuma, and has been sort of notorious for his Talia gameplay in the past. So we'll have to see what other champion he's gonna pivot to this game, as Cease's roster is also shaken up a little bit. It looks like Toma has a second in the jungle, but a different support run this time around.
Yeah, Wu Yan coming in for the support, but obviously the Taliban very smart. Obviously a super strong champion for Toma, almost taking it all the way over there to Diamond. So I'm sure they're well aware about that. The Nocturne van coming over for the blue side, and that's still a strong pick after the nerfs. Maybe not as strong, because of the lane nerfs, but he's still a very 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 high win rate champion. So good to get off the board. Another jungle ban coming in. It looks like they're really targeting Toma here. They don't want him to be on a comfort pick. They want him to kind of go off the board.
Yeah, as we did see before as well, that there was a little bit of banter in the pre-game lobby where Toma was talking about how uh he was having a hard time, and the members of GME, rather than rallying to support, ended up deciding that they were gonna dunk on him and they were gonna perma gank Bidoof in the mid lane. So we'll have to see how this game goes. As 4 jungle bans coming out so far, let's see if we can make it a 5th. I'm sure it's well within GME's possibilities to do so. As no, it's going to be a Yone ban.
And who knows? Maybe Toma's pulling out the Yone in the jungle. Never know. Interesting bans here. We got the Ivern and the Syndra. Syndra not really that strong of a champion right now. But obviously they want, I guess, Bidoof to be on that.
Yeah, just kind of all KDL mid laners can pretty much play the champion, although she hasn't had much success recently. Well, like they just want to take it away from Bidoof, maybe take him off a little bit of comfort, although Bidoof's pool is relatively large enough that it shouldn't impact him too much, as we'll have to see what GM are looking to first pick. Looks like it will be the Graves. Nice little pickup. We do have a Tarim cosplayer here. We could look to see it potentially in the mid or jungle role. I know mid lane Graves has gotten a lot of popularity recently, so we'll have to see where it does slot in. I wouldn't be opposed to Bidoof taking it in the mid lane, as GME here, or excuse me, Cease here, have 2 picks to answer. Looks like it will be the Malphite. A little bit of a blind Malphite, so potential for this to go wrong, and we'll have to see what Toma is looking to pick up.
Yeah, usually you want to pick the Malphite in the second phase. Tomo with the Warwick pick. I have not seen him on this pick before, but very maybe decent synergy with the Malphite here. Usually you want to pick Malphite in the second phase when you already structure your team, and seeing what the enemy is picked, you can end up going with a Malphite. It can be a very very strong counter into an entire enemy team. But they decide to go first. We'll see what GME decide to counter with here. We have the Graves picked
Oh
up.
no.
Obviously Ziggs. Oh no.
Oh no, it's Ziggs having a bit of a popularity in the bot lane currently, and it has been known to just be absolutely obnoxious. So we'll have to see what Cease are looking to pick up, as JT here will be picking up his signature Shen, one of the champions that he likes to play the most in the top lane, as the Kha'Zix is hovered. I would assume this is meant for something else, as we got the Yasuo Malphite combo locked in and ready to go, and now we just have to see what else Cease are looking to pick up, as they are pretty AD heavy right now. Malphite does magic damage, and Warwick does a little bit of mixed damage. So it'll be interesting to see how their team composition goes, as Toma here actually has been picking up the Warwick recently. He's been trying a lot of builds, especially in solo queue, so I'll have to see what he goes for, as the Viego is taken away. Looking to take that away from potentially Bidoof. We're not exactly sure where a lot of these picks are going yet. Ziggs having the ability to roll swap between that mid and bot, and the same with Graves, able to switch between mid and jungle, but this Shen is almost certainly top lane. If the
Yeah,
Seraphine ban is taken out.
interesting ban. I'm kind of assuming that maybe they probably would want, maybe another knockup champion to help the Yasuo, or maybe they're just content with the Malphite. Who knows? But the Seraphine ban all coming out here. We'll see what they end up picking in support once these bans come through. Oh, yep, obviously the Nautilus ban there coming out just to prevent the knockups. Um, right now on C's side, they do need, like you said, a little bit of AP. The Malphite will likely not go full AP. So we'll see what they end up drafting here. Probably in the... Oh, yeah. Okay, they take the Karma.
Yep, and it will be interesting to see. The Karma picked up. Cease did have a lot of success with this champion last time around, able to really exert a lot of pressure on the map, and was able to save a few key members of her team. And we'll have to see if they're going to have the same kind of success of this game. As the last two picks here for GME are coming up, we'll have to see what Jay and Tyler are looking to pick up to round out this composition. And these picks should really enlighten us to where the rest of these picks are going, as the Maokai is picked up. Most importantly, this could be a Maokai support. There's a little bit of a cheese pick here that's been around in the support pool for a while now. We'll have to see if Tyler is able to pick it up, or if it will go into this top lane. The Shen does have a little bit of fringe play in the support, as I am absolutely lost on where these champions are going, but we'll do our best. As if he does pick the Nico, this could be the Nico mid and the Ziggs ADC, but it is going to be very awkward for GME, as they are just going to be so AP heavy, as yeah, they are going to pick up the Nico, and Graves there being their only source of AD, and their only source of physical damage, so it is going to be very hard. And the Jhin here picked up, what about an interesting choice, you know, and into some more tanky champions like this Maokai and like this Shen. You really don't want the Jhin, but against Nico and against Ziggs, it can be very strong, so we'll have to see how it does go for Cease. As unfortunately they weren't able to pick up another knockup, but Malphite could potentially be enough for them, and we'll have to see how they're looking to play this game.
Some strange swaps coming out here. Okay, it looks like it finally went back to normal. The incredibly heavy poke bot and safe bot lane in the Ziggs and the Maokai. Obviously, Ziggs is a lane bully, just unable to, even after the mana nerf, able to spam his Q for however long he wants to. And like you said, interesting pick here with the Jhin. I'm not exactly sure it synergizes with the team kind of comp they wanted. I was thinking maybe they pick something more in the lines of a Jinx or a Kai'Sa that could synergize once, in their team fight. But, the Jhin is not the worst pick in the world. We're going here into kind of the delay, so we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, and like who said, we are going to go ahead and hop into this spectator delay, so we'll see you guys in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. You are watching the KDL.
There's no time for redemption. Those flags you wave, will they hold up? Don't cry for your vengeance. It's right there to take. Oh, if you want it, the world is watching. For a little salvation. Those flags you wave will represent them. The world is watching. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. I'll write your story down. Ends your history. Judgment. Here's your reckoning. So go and bring home the glory alive. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. Write your story down. You
As alright, we are going to come back here from the spectator delay. Don't worry, you aren't missing anything. We're just going to wait to switch screens here until we are fully loaded into the game, so don't worry about that. As you know, a lot of these champions are going ahead and load in. We do have some interesting pickups here. Ziggs did opt to go for the TP as I mentioned, and it will be a little bit interesting to see how this plays into the mid game of this as we are going to wait for the game to completely load before we go ahead and switch over. But you know, both of these teams having some interesting team compositions, if I could speak English. And we'll have to see if Seats are able to execute on this sort of easier style with the Yasuo and the Malphite, just sort of an inbuilt combo that they really have to play around. And or if GME are going to be able to work with their own style of their composition. We'll just have to see how it turns out as the players are going to go ahead and load in. We're going to get this game started.
Yeah, obviously going to be interested to see what the Ziggs ends up doing with the TP. A lot of the times we see Ziggs take it, not able to fully utilize it, are afraid to, use it to get back to lane, thinking they'll waste it. But obviously Jay being, the best player in the tournament, we'll see what he ends up using this TP for.
A
They
debatable
obviously have a
claim
very,
there.
they obviously have a very strong team, a lot of poke, a lot of good team fight. But the side of Cease doesn't have a bad team, as well. They have a lot of team fight potential. If they don't fall behind early game, they could definitely put the pressure on late, obviously, with a lot of these scaling picks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes as Maokai here is going to get caught up here by Yasuo, and Yasuo is just not even going to dodge at all, just complete Chad move as Bidoof was predicting the dodge, but unfortunately for him, Yasuo will decide not to dodge, and already just the mental victory going the way of Cease, and we'll have to see if they're able to carry that into a real victory in this game.
Yeah, obviously I'm not too familiar with the support, but the support that's playing here, but this lane for them is not fun in the bottom lane. And if it's a lot of the times I've seen if an AD carry is not used to playing against the pressure of a Ziggs, the constant poke, the constant spam, they end up falling behind in lane, giving kills up or just massively being down in CS. So we'll see. Hopefully the Jhin is able to keep up with the Ziggs and the Maokai poke for that matter.
Yeah, and both of these champions can be so oppressive. Maokai really forces you to stay out of the bushes due to his saplings. And Zig really thrives when you're pushed away from the wave and you're forced to stand on the far edge of the wave. So it's kind of like an inbuilt synergy combo that they're going to have to play against. Now, Jhin here actually going very aggressive with the Doran's Blade, not opting for the G shield. It's a little bit interesting as the Yasuo will get stunned up. Nothing too meaningful coming out so far, but the Electrocute proc is going to be a nice little chunk on top of him.
You see the Ziggs already starting to poke them out. They're chunked quite a bit. They will have the pots here to heal back up, but that's a pretty big kind of lane advantage to burn, someone's pots at 2 minutes.
Yeah, and they're already burning pots, so like you said, that's just such a huge advantage for them. As Karma as well did go the Spell Thieves. Hasn't been able to get too many procs just yet. And both of these characters are taking so much poke already. You can see they have yet to pop the potions, but they do have them available if they do want them. As the Maokai poke will continue to go through. The level 2 coming out for both sides. Maokai looking like he wanted to take a fight, but deciding against it. And importantly as well, Warwick here had a little bit of an interesting jungle path. We do see a fight here in the mid lane, but talking about the jungler at the same time. Warwick started on top of his red, went to his wolves, and is now doing both his Gromp and his bloom. We'll have to see how that's going to mean. It looks like he's going to potentially look to gank bot, as Karma here is going to get split from Jhin. And it looks like the fight may come out. Maokai wants this fight. Is going to go forward. The Ignite comes out and Karma flashes away way too late. Is going to go down as the gank is coming out. Graves here flashes forward and is able to take out the Yasuo on a nice little 2-0 start for GME.
Yeah, as we saw, the poke was coming down on the bot lane as we predicted. And then in the mid lane, a pretty big misplay from the Yasuo. Obviously, Toma had gone for a little bit of a more unusual gank path. Actually, maybe it does end up being
okay.
He gets the kill.
Okay, nice little synergy there between Toma and Rose as the TP is coming out. The dual TP, excuse me, Shen and Nico both coming. Toma is almost certainly dead here as Jhin is forced to flash away. Toma here going forward, could potentially get the kill on top of Maokai, will not get it, and Jhin having to use his flash and heal, but isn't able to survive either, and a nice little 2 additional kills for GME. 2k gold difference.
2v2 in the bot lane.
Oh man.
Yeah, as I was saying before, a little bit of a misplay from the Yasuo there. Obviously Toma took a weird jungle path. He was still on his blue buff, and Yasuo was trying to take trades and push up, knowing that the Graves would be probably bot side by now. So a little bit of disrespectful play from him was spamming the Mastery 7. The Ziggs is coming mid lane to cover this wave. I'm not sure if the Nico will end up going bot.
Yeah, it looks like she will with Ziggs being in this mid lane. It looks like they just want to push this wave in and get as many plates as possible with Ziggs pushing power. And it is such a fat wave that Yasuo is going to get denied a lot of this wave if Zig decides to stay here and pressure him. But it looks like he's going to opt against it. Nico going back to this mid lane. And because of that, Yasuo is going to be able to farm that entire wave. Should be able to pick at least 90% of it up pretty safely. And is going to have a nice little CS advantage over this Nico.
Yeah, top lane obviously just being kind of a little bit of a farm lane. I'm sure both kind of junglers would ideally like to leave those guys alone. Malphite, I believe, does win once he hits 6. Or at the very least, he's able to survive Shen. See a little bit of a play here.
Oh,
Bidoof is level 3.
Yeah,
I just noticed because of
huge
his TV.
level advantage. As,
Just leveling up
okay,
before.
Yasuo here is going in, and Bidoof is just autoing Yasuo here, just standing in the ability is going to be forced to flash. Nico being down 2 levels, but if you play it that aggressive, we are going to not be able to win that trade, as the wave is going to push in for the top side in favor of Cease. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to get any type of pressure out of this, as Nico here is half HP in the mid lane. Yasuo was forced to recall, and he is healing up inside of his Nexus, as he is trying to get back to lane. And both of these junglers here, you know, Warwick was able to pick up a kill but lost his life for it, and Graves here sitting on 2 kills has yet to back clearing his Raptors. We'll have to see what they're both looking to get. As Warwick here did pick up the Amp Tome, and as I'm talking about that, Maokai is going to go forward. It's a 3v2 though. Warwick is here, but it doesn't matter. Rose just gets deleted before anything can happen. The Ignite comes out from the Karma, is going to sit on top of this Maokai. He is going to die. Ziggs does have Flash available. He should not die to this, as Toma is going to continue to go forward. Decides against it now. And Graves is here as well. They could potentially look to fight this. Looks like they will both opt to reset though.
Yeah, it looks like they will let the wave kind of push into them here on red side. Obviously, like we were talking about earlier in the pregame, there's a massive CS lead in the bottom lane. It doesn't look like the Jin is having very much fun. He keeps getting pushed in the tower, missing CS or getting killed. And he's going to be falling back like a ton of gold. And Jin with no items obviously is just completely useless. His ult's going to be doing no damage. The only thing he'll have is his W. Once again, getting poked out as soon as he shows up the lane.
Yeah, and it's just a tragedy for Jin. You know, you really have to start and try and really, you know, harness your inner dodgeball in order to dodge these Qs coming out from the Ziggs, and unfortunately he's not able to do it so far. As a JG here is having a lot of pressure in this top lane, is able to zone Malphite off a lot of CS. You could potentially see something happen. As Yasuo here, importantly, has the level 6, has the Warwick in the top side, and the Karma on the bot side. There should be no way that Bidoof gets out of this. No flash. He's almost certainly dead, as the kill will be going over to Yasuo. A nice little play there from Cease to pick up some gold back, but they are still standing at a 2k gold deficit. As the members of GME here are looking to potentially get started on this dragon.
Yeah, Karma already doing what Karma in the previous game was struggling with a bit, already roaming. She's only level 5, but trying to make plays across the map, knowing that the bot lane is a bit doomed.
Oh, Jin, no.
But Jin,
run, Jin, run!
Has no flash. The Karma is there, might be able to save him, but no, the damage coming out here from the Graves. Graves, you know, getting some buffs, being a pretty oppressive champion right now. You know, being seen play in the bot lane, going lethality, seen playing it once again in the jungle. 3-0 with his Noon Quiver, and likely about to get another full item on back. So a lot of gold going over to the Graves.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of gold, and that's really what you want as a Graves player. You want to accelerate yourself. You know, due to his E stacking, he can be very strong against these AD champions, and that's all that Cease to really have. So a really strong pick for them. As the ultimate comes out from Bidoof, he's going to stun up this Yasuo, looking to get one more auto. Could potentially look to kill him. The passive comes out from Yasuo, the Ignite. Oh my god, he almost turned that. But unfortunately for him, he does not get it, and that is going to be a nice little pickup there for Bidoof. He's going to catch the wave as Toma here in the mid lane, though. He's looking like he wants to potentially go on top of this Nika. The bloodline is there. He could look to go for it. He's deciding whether or not he wants to. It looks like he's going to decide not to.
The Malphite ult is up, but I wonder if he has enough mana for it. It looks like he probably will. Oh, he will not die. Obviously, Shen saw Toma walking up.
And
the
Shen
Karma
has
is
the
1
ultimate
HP.
here. And oh, we got Graves here just bullying this bot lane. It looks like the junglers have decided to split the map. But even with the map split, Warwick just can't get this Malphite ahead. And Ziggs here just able to accelerate so fast to such a nice tower clear speed with his abilities. Is going to mean that this tower is most likely going to go down, if not go down to 1 plate. We'll have to see how it goes, as he is going to push in this cannon wave as well. And just a huge CS lead for Ziggs. Huge plate lead, and it's going to mean a huge gold lead for GME, setting up 3k.
We'll see, even potentially might even leave the tower up just to bully them even more. That could be definitely a lot of teams I've seen like to do that, but you will take it down this time. Look at that massive gold discrepancy, 4,000 to 2,000 in the bot lane. He's up 50 CS. Yeah, this is the kind of issue here with picking the Jin Karma into this lane. You just lose. and you lose hard, especially if you're not used to playing against the Ziggs. You're not used to dodging. You're not used to the intense pressure he puts on. And the top side, once again, CS discrepancy. The Malphite hasn't been able to go anywhere, and he kind of at level 6 he needs to be making plays.
Yeah, and speaking of making plays, Toma is here. Maokai does not have the flash as the ultimate comes out. He is going to get the aftershock. The Shen ultimate will come out, and it looks like they're splitting targets. Yasuo here wanting to go in, but is going to get caught out. And 4 members of GME are separating him from his Warwick as he is going to try and get away. Bidoof here potentially has the kill. It looks like they're going to try and go for it as the flash will come out, and Graves is able to pick it up. But there's a nice little play for GME as well. We're sniffing out that C's wanted to make a play around the mid lane and able to counter it so effectively.
Yeah, the Yasuo playing a bit disrespectfully this game, constantly trying to fight the Nico, not playing with the team, going in too aggressively, not having wards behind him. This is definitely putting him at a pretty big disadvantage. He definitely needs to play a little bit more safer, especially being behind on Yasuo and not being very useful when you're on that champion and this far behind.
Yeah, and it is a little bit unfortunate. We got to see how Cease are going to be able to pull it back into this. They do have that easy combo with the Yasuo and the Malphite. Worst comes to worst, they can hope for like a 5-man Malphite ultimate, and then Yasuo tries and cleans up. But with a 5k gold deficit turning into 6k here soon, it's going to be interesting as they have just funneled the Ziggs around the map, picking up plates from every tower. And now he's in the top tower, and he is just blowing this Malphite. Look at his HP. He's not really able to do too much as Ziggs here is just free farming, taking these towers and doing an insane amount of damage.
Yeah, I asked during, I think probably right before the game started, if Ziggs was going to be able to use his TP correctly and use his positioning correctly, and they're doing exactly what they need to do. They're going to be able to get this dive on this Malphite here. Very easy kill, and maybe Toma going for a counter gank in the bot lane. Looks like J Trolls will get away.
Yeah, J Troll was forced to use his flash, unfortunately not for him, but he does have the Graves in here as support as they will churn the Rift Herald bot lane. A little bit interesting, as Graves here will surely be enough to dissuade Cease from trying to go for anything further. As Toma does have the ultimate, but it is under tower, and we can see Ziggs here in the top lane, just able to completely punish this tower. He's going to go down the second tower with full plates going down to Ziggs sitting on so much gold, sitting on another 2k after coming back from base. This Ziggs is just so far accelerated. It's almost, what is it, 7k gold lead in favor of GME. It's going to be very rough for Cease to get back in this game.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they need to do to put Ziggs in the game. And obviously the Graves is 4-0, has his shield bow, electing to go for a little bit of a more safer option here, wanting the Ziggs to potentially carry the game. Has his Leandries and a blasting wand. Looks like we might be seeing him maybe transition to mid to get this mid tier 2 or tier 1, which is just a massive tower to have. It opens up the entire map for them. And GME is a team that likes to push the pace early on. And they're doing that here.
And importantly enough, it is still 12 minutes or another 2 minutes before the tower plates even fall off. So Ziggs here could look to get, he was able to get 5 plates bot lane, 5 plates top lane. I think there's 2 plates left in the mid lane tower, so there's 12 plates of free gold. That's basically 2k of free gold that he got just because he was pressuring these turrets. And he's going to pressure Karma and Jin and get them off of this tower as well.
Yeah, the Jin electing to come into the mid lane to try to farm, but he looks like he is not going to be able to farm. He only has a Noon Quiver and boots. Maybe it would have been a better idea to finish those boots early on the Jin to get the Swifties to help him dodge a bit. You can see maybe a fight breaking out here. This doesn't look like a good fight for Cease. They're going to get clean wiped. The TP's coming in from the Nico. Flash into the Yasuo. The Yasuo turning back and will not be able to get away. Once again, that Malphite a little bit late to the fight. He did have TP, elected not to use it. Does not have his ult up either. As another, just this lead is just getting massive. We're looking into 10,000 gold here in a few seconds once this tower falls.
Oh no, and 10,000 gold in 13 minutes. This happened to Cease before. It looks like they're trying to make a counterplay now. They will be able to pick up a nice little kill on top of Tyler, who is going a little bit too aggressive, but the rest of GME is coming forward. Toma here going on top of the Ziggs. He has no mana. But unfortunately for Toma, he doesn't have his Fear ready to go, and Malphite here could potentially die. It looks like the Ignite will come out. The Shin Ultimate will come out as well. And Toma here gets stunned up. Hasn't died just yet, but is going to go down to the Graves as the rest of GME are here. Graves that unfortunately will miss the ultimate on top of the Malphite, and that is going to mean that he is not able to get that kill, but he is going to continue going forward. The E-stacks on top of him. Yasuo is here, though. We could potentially look to see something happen as the Jin ultimate comes out. Slows on top of JT, but it looks like Cease do not want to follow.
Yeah, as we can see, the Jin all doing peanuts onto the Shen. The Ziggs TP coming in just to secure this dragon, and also steal his blue buff. But as we can see, they can't, even being able to start a fight there. Cease can't do anything. There's a massive item advantage. No one has a mythic item right now on Cease. No one even has boots complete. If one person has boots complete only, so this is not looking too good for them. The Jin definitely needs his Swifties as soon as possible to kind of dodge these Qs, dodge these Malphite saplings.
Yeah, and Jin there just ends up
And
dying
he's
to
and
Ziggs
he's
straight
dead.
up without ultimate needed, and Ziggs here just so accelerated picks up the Medjets as well. And is able to get that nice little kill on top of Jin, gets him 10 stacks. And Ziggs here just absolutely taking over this game.
Yeah, the Malphite is, yep, walking the long way around. Maybe they're thinking of making a play here on the Ziggs, but the Ziggs is quite safe. He can just W out of there. Maokai also has the ult as a great disengage tool. It looks like the Yasuo is, spam pinging the Malphite ulti. Maybe he's doing that just to kind of say that, hey, maybe we need to make a play here in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and with Cease, they really need to take any play they can get. 11k gold down at 15 minutes is not exactly where you want to be, as Toma here is not even allowed to safely farm his Raptors, just getting bullied out by the Ziggs and the Maokai. And it is going to be hard for them to continue this game, as Yasuo picks up the shield bow. Nice little advantage for him picking up the first item. But they are going to need a lot of plays to start going their way in order to make something happen. If the wind wall comes out, Yasuo will dash forward. The flash will come out from the Karma. The ultimate comes out from the Nico, though. Stuns up too. Not able to kill anyone just yet. Karma here looking like she's going to go down, though, as the shield bow comes out and the ignite goes out on top of Nico. Is she going to die? It's a nice little 2-for-1 trade for Cease, but unfortunately, those 2 kills will be 2 of their own members, and that will be GME just continuing to snowball ahead as the ultimate comes, or the teleport comes out from Malphite. He's
Oh
looking
my
like he
goodness,
wants to
this
go
damage from
forward.
the Ziggs.
Oh my gosh.
Almost fully chunks Toma. Almost, he's 1 HP. They might even catch the Malphite here. I wonder if this Maokai will elect to ult. He
No.
does.
Ah, he ulted
And
too
will
late.
follow him across.
Just greeting for his ultimate there, just staying way too long, and unfortunately that means that he's not gonna have the ultimate when he gets back up as well. Either ultimate at the start there or just not at all. And that is gonna mean that the game is just looking even more disastrous for Cease. GME really putting on a strong performance.
Yeah, this is a bit of an insurmountable gold lead. No one exactly on GME side is, they got a little bit of a pick in the bot lane, which is good for them in terms of the gold. As Jay going in here, flashing the mastery, flashing the emotes.
Oh
Definitely
no.
Yasuo with his shield bow down ends up being 2-6 now. As we can see, they're pushing the CS leads. We have massive leads in the top lane, in the jungle, in the mid lane a little bit. Definitely in bot lane, double CS on the Ziggs to the Jin, and even the support is up in CS. It doesn't mean anything, but he's up in CS. Kind of an insurmountable lead at this point for Cease, especially with the champions they have, where they kind of want a team fight. Like, it's not really there for them.
Yeah, as GT could potentially get caught out here, he is going to be forced to flash. Cease still on their toes as the spam pings are coming out. They don't think GT needed a flash, as Maokai here really wants in. Is going to continue to go forward on top of this Malphite. Malphite does not have ultimate available, no flash available. We could see Badu stun him up. The damage comes out, but oh, JT misses the taunt. Oh no, as GME, they're kind of throwing an easy kill, but it looks like Cease are able to pick that one up, and we could look to see if they're going to counter engage. They do have 4 members here in the top lane, but Ziggs is coming. The stuns come out. Karma is going to go down, and Telma here doing his best. The Shen ultimate is going to come out to shield Badu. Telma is going to get stunned up in more ways than one, and he's going to go down as Ziggs is finally arrived. The ultimate comes out. The flash comes out. Jin almost just getting one shot from the ultimate alone, and Malphite here getting a huge chunk as well.
Yeah, the Ziggs doing incredible amount of damage. His Maokai flashes in there. It doesn't look like they'll be able to get anyone. He might actually pay for his life. The Shen looks like he's saving him so far. Nice little play from the Yasuo. Flashes out, a little cheeky play there. Yeah. Getting some gold on his side, taking down the Maokai.
Yeah, nice little pickup for them. That 1 kill is not much, but it is something to start. But in this bot lane, we do have Graves here with the Roof Herald pushing in these towers. Is going to take the inhibitor at 18 minutes, and it's really GME's game to decide when they're going to end it. They could do it very safely and just wait out these objectives and try and make that happen, or they could force a fight around one of these inhibitors and try and end through that method.
Yeah, they definitely need to pick onto the Ziggs. As you see, the Ziggs is playing a little bit disrespectfully, but knowing that everyone else is on the mid and bot side of the map, he has a 24 stack Medjais, 3 full completed items, and obviously we know Jay has his, a really big needlessly large rod. So, I'm not sure what they can do to stop this at this point.
Yeah, it is definitely going to take, you think of a miracle scenario, and it's no, that's not good enough. They need something better than that. So it is going to be very hard for them. They're going to need a lot of wins back to back for Cease to try and get something in this game, but it is completely as Ziggs there, missed his Q, is going to kite the blue buff into his E. Fortunately enough for him. But looks like he's going to miss more Qs. As Yasuo here actually had enough damage to potentially kill the Ziggs. Looks like he's going to opt against it as the ultimate comes out, and he's just going to get chained down and just absolutely taken out as the rest of GME is here. Maokai wants to fight. He's going to stun up the Karma. Almost has enough damage to kill her himself, but Graves will be able to chaos that. And a nice little 7-0 Graves and 7-1 Ziggs is going to mean a very strong GME.
Yeah, the Ziggs definitely has enough damage to ult the blue buff. Full stack on Magi's now. Looks like he's pushing the wave and might want to back for this, but this could be just a push for the end here. They're going to be taking the mid wave. Looks like no one really wants to back. Graves taking the tower shots for some reason, but
yeah, man, Maokai, I don't know, not a tanky champion apparently, but it looks like the jungler is put in his place. The GME realizing who's strongest on their team. As Maokai is allowed to keep that full HP, and they are going to take the bot inhib, take the mid inhib, and now it looks like they're going to pass towards this top inhib as Karma gets caught up here and just gets absolutely deleted. Another kill going the way of Ziggs, 25 stack Magi's, as it really looks like GME are going to try and end the game on this push.
Yeah, this looks like this will be the game here. The Shen pushing the top inhibitor, which will go down in a second as Bidoof just goes in there. Looks like they will get a clean ace.
Ace?
As Toma tries to go, but Toma looks like he wants to give them the clean ace.
Yeah, Toma and Rose are both alive. As the Nexus towers will go down, and I think anyone would be fooled.
Hey, Colby, clean ace coming.
Okay, as a surrender will come out, realizing that they're defeated. As Jailer gets executed, is going to lose his perfect Magi stacks, and that's going to be a nice little clean game for GME.
Yeah, maybe the chat was right. They did pop at the FF at the end here. We will be getting into the interviews, but as we can see, the 9-2, 929 Ziggs with 200 CS, while the poor Jin has 93 farm and was down to over 5,000 gold. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate game for Cease. They were able to push get some trade kills early in the game, but GME just able to really put the game in their hands and just have full control of the game, sitting in the driver's seat the entire time. We're able to call all the plays, and all the plays worked out for them, and because of that, they were able to get a huge gold lead. As we will now be going ahead and pulling in Cease and getting their thoughts on this game. As we do have the members of Cease with us now, and unfortunately this game did not go your guys' way. And I believe you have, is it 2 games left or 1 game left after this one?
1 game against World Enders.
And I think this game you can pretty much chalk up to, in the first 5 minutes you can realize what you do wrong and stop the game from getting to that point. But GME just being such a competent team that once they get that kind of goal lead early in the game, they are going to push you guys off of it. But World Enders having a little bit more of a shaky start. They were able to bring GME to a little bit of their breaking point, but how do you guys think you will fare against that roster?
I definitely think we can win against World Enders if we try our best. Unlike this game.
Oh no!
Dude, I think we win if I go Kha'Zix mid there.
True, dude, true.
As I think you guys, coming into this game, did you kind of accept that it would go GME's way? Did you maybe have a little bit of hope it would go your way, or was it just full despair?
Our win con, we didn't have a win con, but I wasn't really supposed to play, but since I was, we just for fun didn't try too hard, but for sure GME is the better team.
Yeah, obviously we can respect that. Just quick last question about this Warwick pick, Toma. Allegedly you've been playing this pick. Tell me what you like about this pick. Why have you been playing Warwick?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I guess something about point and click Qs doing 2,000 damage is really fun to me.
Goodness, Warwick abusers.
Sadly, I didn't reach that point. I didn't snowball enough, so.
As I don't think anyone would blame you guys for your performance this game, and I mean, this game is pretty open and shut, so we'll go ahead and get you guys out of here and wish you luck against the World Enders.
Love
Okay.
you, Toma.
Love you too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Telba fan here. As we will be go ahead and getting them out of here, and now we will be going ahead and pulling in GME, our winners for the game, as I'm sure their spirits are high. And Jay, I gotta say, welcome to the club. I think you've joined Code with the Ziggs bot lane. I gotta ask, how did it feel to just bully two people for 20 minutes?
Um, doesn't feel that great, honestly. I mean, not to sound cocky or anything, but I just know like, there is definitely a rank difference, player skill difference compared to their bot lane and ours. So, it's not the best feeling, but we had to do what we had to do.
Yeah, and you guys were able to pull out the win for this game. I don't think anyone was maybe expecting a little bit differently. You guys do have your game versus the Akatsuki still unscheduled, and then INS as your other remaining game. Do you feel like you'll be able to play against INS and Akatsuki in the same way that you did in this game?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I heard their and Koski's support is pretty bad, so I think bot lane is usually a support
Mm.
difference.
Yeah, he is notoriously boosted. We'll have to see when that game comes what's especially going to happen. But I mean, you guys pick up a nice little win that is going to elevate you guys to 5-0. Do you think you're going to be able to end the season 7-0 with that perfect streak, or do you think you might be able to drop a game?
Team never lose.
Yeah, never lose.
Never lose. I know, there's a little bit of debate about that. Last time Ko was running to say the Akatsuki was the never lose spiritual successor.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
As we'll have to see at the end of the season who truly is never lose, never dropping a game. And I
No.
mean,
It never happens. It's just cursed.
as we do have, the MVP still sitting here, we're gonna give it a little bit more time before we go ahead and call out the MVP for this game. Looks like we do have two contenders so far. As anyone who has not voted so far, go ahead and take a vote in the MVP, see who we wanted to vote for. As coming out of this game, we definitely saw a little bit more of some spicy picks. As you just posted a pizza. Did you just get that pizza?
No, I just found that on Reddit.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, man, that's like a day ruiner to get something like that.
Sounds like some English pizza after today. That's what it looks like.
As I think that people has pretty much settled out now. As Jay, you are MVP for this game. You were able to pick up so much gold in bot and top and mid throughout this game, playing the Ziggs, and I think people were maybe a little bit disappointed by your performance this game. Nothing too spicy coming out. Ziggs is a little bit more of on meta than the builds you've put on some of these other champions. And can we expect some more Korean tech builds going forward in your other games?
Hey, we didn't bring it out in the AD carry, but we brought it out from our support side this time around.
Sir.
Support Maokai.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. As it is a nice little clean performance for you guys, and we're able to pick up the win on this one. We are going to go ahead and get you guys out of here and wish you good luck. Facing INS, it is a formidable foe, and we'll hope you guys are going to be able to take them down.
Yep, thanks.
As who? Once again.
Into the other room by mistake.
Oh, I did ask Cap. But we will be going ahead and wrapping up our broadcast here for today. We did have two games today. For tomorrow, we do have a triple header. I believe it is World Hunters versus Dab Nation and Akatsuki. And then Dab Nation versus Akatsuki as the final game for tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. We'll have to see how the standings shake up after that. And that will likely mean the end of week 3. We did have a little bit of an awkward schedule this week and next week. We'll see some of the weeks shifted around in order to help people's schedules. But we'll be able to see how the standings are looking up. And we thank you guys for joining us here today. If you want to talk about, or if you want to see what we were talking about with the pizza, you can go ahead and join the Discord and see what Badu posted. If you want to talk to the players, to see what the KDL is about, again, join the Discord and make sure you follow. And we'll be here at 8 p.m. tomorrow for our games tomorrow, and we'll see you guys then.